Hello, welcome to another tie-in video. Today I'm going to show you how to tie the Grey Goose Buzzer of the Fly Dressers Guild. It's one of the Bronze Award flies. Can be a little bit tricky, but just because you're using a goose feather, but I'll attempt to show you how to get this done today. So this one is one that was tied earlier, with the wing case over the top, Peacock herl and a silver rib. So it calls for between a size 10 and a 14 buzzer hook. So put the hook in the vise. Because you're going to bring the thread sort of right down to the bend of the hook, I want to sort of get it at a bit of an angle, make it life a little bit easier. So we're using a Uni Black in 80 or 80. So starting at the eye. Tight turns down towards the bend of the hook, and because the award calls for three of each pattern, all three need to be very closely tied and represent each other, and that can be quite difficult. So it's always worth setting aside the materials you need, maybe 5 sets of each, to give yourself a chance to get them all as identical as possible. So the next bit is to tie in the silver rib. You notice I've not gone all the way down to the bend yet, because we want to get these all in as neatly as possible. So a couple of turns for your rib, and then we're going to put in the fibres from the Grey Goose. Now it says 4 fibres, but that would perhaps be for a size 14 hook. If you go down to size 10, you may need 6 to get the wraps in, and it has to just take off the tips and tie this in. So at the moment you've got silver rib and your Canada Goose herl, Grey Goose herl. I'm going to take that right the way down into the bend of the hook. Again in neat touching turns. That'll do. Then bring the thread again in touching turns back towards the eye of the hook. Again, we want a nice touching turns because you want to keep this body as neat as possible. And as even as possible. So in there I'm just going to bring the hook back up, make it a little bit more even in the vise. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this towards the eye, because I'm going to use the rotary function of the vise to bring the herl up. So moving forward, I'm going to bring the goose keeping it tight, but not overly tight because we don't want to snap it. And using this rotary function, what will happen will be that the thread will start winding, so you just got to keep an eye on that as well, near the hook. I just caught one of the fibres while I was watching that, but it's okay. and where that thread is wound towards the hook, just start bringing that back again. Probably get one more in there, can he? He says. Yeah, just about. That's it. Okay. Keeping that tight. That's it. Trim those fibres off. Now the next thing is to bring the rib, but we don't want to take it in the same direction that we took the goose. We're going to take it in the opposite direction. And again in neat turns, trying to keep it as evenly spaced as possible, and then start counting these. So that was, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 for look, 7. Keeping it at the top, keeping your thread tight, start tying in that rib. Tidy all that loose material down and just keep that thread tight and worry that wire off. Okay, good. So now we are after the wing case. Again, the same feather, parts off. Just take the tips of that off. Have a look at that, make sure that's over the top, which it is. And also make sure that wing case meets the body, which it does. Then it calls for 2 strands of peacock herl. Again, the tips are really weak on that, so we just take the tips off. And tie them in at the wing case. And bring that thread towards the eye. What we do now is start taking the 2 strands of peacock herl. They are quite delicate, and you can twist them up if you wish. That's what the tiny instructions say. If you want to twist them up, that might make them a little bit stronger. So, snip them off. And bring the wing case over the top. Hold that in place with the flat of your finger. Correct the thread. And just check that's there. Yeah, that's good. And we'll trim these off. It talks on the tiny instructions about not cutting them off in one big foul swoop. If you just do them a few at a time, helps for them to sit, and then here we go. Finish off with the head as neatly as possible. That's it. And remember, this is the Bronze Award, so for those who found this time video, it is really just a stepping stone to the other 2 awards. Nobody's expecting the flies to be absolutely perfect, but the better they are tied, the more chance you've got of getting that award. So nice neat head. Get a nice sharp pair of scissors and cut that nice and neatly right up to there so there's no thread hanging. There you are. And finish off with a little bit of head cement. And that's it. Fly Dressers Guild Bronze Award, Grey Goose Buzzer. The difficult part is getting 3 to look identical, but it is possible. You might have to tie more than 3, obviously, to get that, to get what you need. But I hope this video has helped to show you exactly what the materials required. I'll stick a link, I'll stick the description of all the materials up in the link. And if you've enjoyed that and it's helped you learn how to tie that fly, please give us a thumbs up. Thank you.